What's up YouTube, this is Arlio. As usual, I'm Max, bringing you more Let's Play Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club, Gerard's Route. Last time... I don't remember what happened last time, actually. It's been a while since I recorded. I assume we hung out with Jirard, because it's his route. Stuff happened. This time we're gonna have more stuff happen. Probably. Or maybe I'll just sit here forever. Alright. Saturday morning took its slow time coming. When it finally did, I was ready. Mai was by my side, the one-woman equivalent of a team of stylists. Oh right, they're going on a date. Or, Hana and Gerard are, not Hana and Mai. Even though I wish that was the case too. She did my makeup for me, made sure my hair was extra silky, dabbed just the right amount of perfume on my neck, and of course, she helped me pick out the cutest outfit, and the one I felt the most comfortable in. When I was all ready, it was just a matter of waiting. My baby Hana is all grown up. I'm so proud of you, honey. She pinched my cheek and I swatted her hand away. Stop that. It was only a few weeks ago we talked about dating boys and you acted like it was an impossibility. Now look where we are. Hana's got herself a B-O-Y-F. Stop. I do not. Are you kidding me? My cell phone vibrated on my desk and I snatched it up immediately. As I expected, it was from Gerard. Was he waiting outside? Heart pounding, I opened it up. Hana, I can't make it today. I'm really sorry. I'll definitely find a way to make it up to you. Oh. Is it him? I showed her the message, and her face fell as quickly as mine had.
What the hell?
Yeah, fair enough. Couldn't he have told you sooner than this? We wouldn't have wasted all that time. Mai caught the look on my face and stuttered, backtracking. I'm sure he wants a rain check. It's not like Gerard to do something like this. Yeah, it's not. He must really have not wanted to go with me. That's not what I meant, Hana. An odd, rather rhythmic knock tapped itself out against my door. Mai shot me a look. Well, if that's not Gerard, who is it? With a shrug, I went to get the door, trying not to let the hope show on my face. Maybe it was a prank, or he changed his mind, or it was just Satch. Hello, I'm here to kill you. Hi, Satch. Don't look so happy to see me, please. But I think I know why you're bummed. Gerard sent you his message, didn't he?
What?
How did... Gerard sends me to give you his most formal and sincere apologies. But seriously, he's really sorry. He wanted the message delivered in person, but I guess he got paranoid the wait would get your hopes up too high. But why can't he come?
Well...
That I don't know. Gerard's been acting strange lately. I know him almost better than anyone, and he's definitely going through something. But he's not the type to want to unload on others, so I'm keeping my distance. Out of respect. If he wants my help, he will ask. Gerard is that kind of person. Thanks for the warning. Satch chuckled, patting me gently on the head. I knew you were a smarty. Or an M&M. Anyway, I'll be going. You look really nice today, by the way. Thank you.
Be good.
Later. Satch waltzed down the hall, all smiles and good cheer. It made complete sense why Gerard and him were such good friends. You know, I should have expected something like this would happen, considering the name of this chapter is Stood Up. I really hope this doesn't go the route I'm expecting, where she's just like, he's breaking up with me, he doesn't care about me, he doesn't want to date me or whatever, when literally anyone in the world who has half a brain would know it is literally just a case of something bad came up, he'll get back to you. Like, seriously, I'm a guy, we're stupid here, we guys are stupid, and I can understand this. I headed back into the door room. Mai had her purse on her shoulder and was looking at me expectantly. Yes? You ready to go? Go where? Out to eat, silly. It's my treat today. There's a great chili place just off campus. Thanks, Mai. What are you thanking me for? I'm just hungry. Come on, I'll starve to death the way you're dawdling. Once again, I found myself thinking. I was so lucky to have Mai. Give Mai a root. I was both dreading and anticipating running into that. Dreading because I didn't want to see him try and avoid me or turn away in shame. Then I would know he made a mistake. But anticipating because there was only one thing I wanted now. An explanation. But after that day, Gerard stopped coming to the cafeteria for lunch. Nobody knew why, but nobody was particularly concerned. Sometimes Gerard gets an idea to do something, and he doesn't stop until it's done. How do you think he became such a legendary completionist? It was fine for them, but I wasn't satisfied. Not at all. It was that dissatisfaction that led to me standing in front of Gerard's door, hands twisted into my skirt. I'm just checking on him, just to be sure. I raised a trembling hand to the door and knocked. He's not going to be home. In the past, every time I knocked at Gerard's door, it flew open within seconds, Gerard's smiling face behind it. This time, it didn't open.
Jirard.
I knocked again. Was he really not here? Where else would he be? But this time, I heard a rustling behind his door.
Hana!
Hana, is that you? Yeah.
What's up?
What's up? Are you okay? Can I come in? The latch turned and the door slowly creaked open about 1.5 inches. Gerard peeked through the crack, apparently trying to block as much of the room inside as he possibly could. I would love for you to, Hana. Really, I would, but I'm, busy. I swear to God if this gets interpreted as him cheating on us. Busy? Is that why you haven't been around lately? I've been worried about you. Yes? He glanced into his room, then pulled the door a bit closer to him. I've just got this huge school project due soon. Like, so huge. Like, you don't even know how huge. It's crazy, man. I nodded slowly. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, you get it. Like, so big. I'm like, oh man, this is just so big. It's like crazy big. Geez, so much, you know? That's what she said. So, I really can't afford to take time away from it. He glanced into his room again, pulling the door even closer to him. At this point, I could just barely make out his eye. He was clearly lying, but even so, he genuinely didn't seem to want me there. I thought of Satch's roundabout warning. Maybe this was what he was talking about. On one hand, I really want to know, but on the other hand... Okay, in previous episodes, I have constantly seen Gerard as being very much like myself. Or Asagao Academy version of Gerard. I don't know about real life. But, like, cheerful most of the time. Friendly most of the time. And, you know, just does his best frequently. And, like, doesn't really care what other people think if it's negative. And if we continue along with this, I have in the past frequently been vague about things I have going on, wanting people to not get involved for one reason or another, whether it's bad or I'm just trying to keep it a secret. And every time, I have never wanted to be pushed for an answer. So I'm just going to let it go this time, because even though I want to know what's going on, I have a feeling, I have an inkling that it's pretty much just some equivalent of he's making something for her and doesn't want her to be privy to it. Like, until it's ready. Because, like, considering this game, I very much doubt it's him cheating on us or not wanting to get with us. Unless this is what happens if we made wrong choices. And I really hope I didn't make wrong choices. Well, okay. I'll let you get back to it then. Really? Sweet. Thank you, Hana. I knew you'd understand. I smiled half-heartedly.
See you later.
Good luck. Thanks. See you around. That's what he said, but I did not see him around. Weeks rolled by, and suddenly the tournament was just a week away. I practiced my butt off and was ready for it, but even then my mind kept straying to Gerard. What was he doing? And why was he avoiding me? Chapter 4. Okay, Gerard has an angry face. I feel like I probably would have seen that face if I chose to press him. I just don't know what else to do. I collapsed with a huff onto my bed, wrapping myself up in its sheets.
I don't know.
I don't know either, Hana. I hadn't spoken to Gerard in weeks, and neither I nor anybody else knew what he was up to. Doesn't he live with Shade? Why wouldn't Shade know? Can't we just ask Shade, like, hey, does he have, like, anything different in his room? Like, what is he doing? I don't know. After class, he went straight to lunch, politely evading all conversation on the way. He grabbed his food and disappeared into his room, not being seen until seconds before class started up again. No one but me was even particularly concerned. That's just the way he is. He'll come back when he's ready. But that wasn't it. That wasn't the whole story. Of course I was concerned for his well-being. Knowing Gerard, he would push himself to the ends of the earth if it meant completing some project he was working on. But at the same time, he hates me, doesn't he? Mai sat across from me, straddling her desk chair.
What a jerk.
If he really decided to just up and start hating you for no reason, then he's not the guy you thought he was, right? But I'm sure he is. He's not the kind of person to shut people out like that. So either I did something wrong, or something is wrong with him. Mai, what do I do?
What?
Are you seriously asking me that question? Sure. I mean, I don't exactly have any other leads to go off, and you know way more about guys than I do. Well, you really like Jirard, right? Of course I do. Even if he was doing this because you upset him in some way. And if he is, he's being totally unreasonable. Then you'd want to try to fix the situation. Of course. If I did something wrong, I should rectify it. Mai groaned, rubbing her temples. Your thought isn't wrong, but the way you're applying it is... Well, if that's what you want to do, why don't you try doing something to show him how much you care? You always talk about how Gerard's been doing all this stuff for you, so maybe if you do something for him, he'll understand. It's possible he felt like you were taking advantage of his kindness. Do you think? That couldn't really be true. There was no way. Gerard was excruciatingly kind to me, so kind it made me uncomfortable at times, but I never asked him to be that way. I always tried to let him know I appreciated it, and I was even trying to get Princess Pumpernickel for him. Unsuccessfully. What did it matter that I was trying to get the figure if there were no actual results? It wasn't the trying that mattered. Wrong. If I could only find a way to get Princess Pumpernickel for him, he'd definitely understand how I feel. Do you think? But you've already tried, haven't you? Gerard has half the country on lockdown. If he can't do it, how are you going to? But I have to try. I have to do something to show Gerard how I truly feel about him. If, after all of that, he still wants nothing to do with me, and he still wants to avoid me, then there's nothing I can do. The question was, how was I going to do it? Oh, okay. On my way out of the cafeteria the next day, I was tapped on the shoulder right in the middle of attempting to make theories or something. And, oh, hello. Jimmy, what's up? Is everything okay? Jimmy shifted his weight, almost as if he were dancing. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. After a second, he returned my gaze. Yeah, everything's fine. Walid wants to see you for a second. Do you have time to meet up with him?
Well...
Class is about to start. Yeah, but it's really important. Okay, if it's really important, then sure. He's waiting for you in front of the club room. Okay. I hesitated. Something about this didn't feel right. Are you sure? We're going to run out of time. Right, sorry. Following Jimmy's advice, I went straight to Poppy Hall, questions swirling in my mind. Jimmy seemed like he was something more than just sad. What was going on that he felt so bad? I turned into Poppy and down the hallway that led to both the normal boots and the hidden block club rooms. Walid was waiting for me in front of the hidden block room, one arm hidden behind his back. I don't think I've seen this guy before. Kinda looks like... I don't know.
Hello.
Walid, what's up?
Hana!
Hana, you came! I'm so glad. I was worried you wouldn't show. Okay, but what's going on? Jimmy said you had something really important to talk with me about. Oh, right. Well, it is really important. It's this. Walid slid his arm out from behind his back. I gasped. In his hand was a crisp, mint-condition IBK box, and inside the box, Princess Pumpernickel! She was a beautiful chocolate-brown kitty. Long curls of amethyst hair cascaded down her head, a small silver crown with what looked like actual garnets encrusted in it. She smiled an almost Cheshire grin, as if she knew exactly how much she was worth. How did you... There's no time. I don't like where this is going. I know you've been wanting to help Gerard find us, and here it is. You've been worried about Gerard, haven't you? Wallet, did you get me this just so I could help cheer Gerard up? You're so sweet. Wallet shook his head roughly, his jaw clenching. I want you to drop out of the tournament.
What?
You what? I will give this to you if you drop out of the tournament. Here's the thing, he's really avoiding talking about where well, he's not really avoiding it, but he's being like, there's no time. I'm not going to tell you where I got this. That is ringing some red flags in my head, and that's very odd because red flags aren't bells, therefore they can't ring. Wallet's gaze dropped to the floor, no longer able to maintain eye contact with me. Suddenly, Jimmy's suspicious behavior clicked into place. You're blackmailing me? Look, Jirard is probably never going to see this figure unless you give it to him. If you don't take it back, I'm selling it for a profit. I didn't have to buy this stupid thing. Questions of how Wallet managed to afford it rose on my lips, then died like a flame. His family could probably afford anything. I don't think so, because I feel like if he's like, there's no time, he should have time to say, I bought it, I'm rich, or something like that. Also, Gerard had half the, okay, maybe not half the country. He had the entire town, not to mention many, many dealers on lockdown. I don't know if I'm going to get a choice to take this, but this is a mutually beneficial arrangement. You get what I want, I get what I want, and everyone's happy in the end. But you have to drop out. If I quit the tournament, I would lose the chance to join the Normal Boots Club. Even more than that, I would probably sentence them to a failure. Shane would be right about me. I wasn't sure they would ever forgive me either. But at the same time, this figure was priceless to Gerard. It would make him so happy, and it was probably the only way I could truly show him how I felt. Even if only once. Even if at the cost of joining the club. I wanted to see Gerard smile like that. Oh, I don't even get a choice! Well, fuck you, Wallet. Deal. Really? Are you sure? I'm sure. Then let's shake on it. Wallet extended a hand to me. The handshake. Sign of friendship, respect, greeting, admiration even. Truce. I took his hand in mine and gave it a firm shake. Alright. Here you go. Be very careful not to dent the box. You'll destroy its worth. I will. Thanks. No, Hana. Thank you. I feel like it's probably a fake. That's what I'm guessing right now. While it disappeared down the hallway, a skip in his step. I gazed at the box in my hands. It was made of cardboard and plastic. The figure inside grinned knowingly at me, taunting me. A figure made of plastic and paint, and apparently real garnets. Stupid. Still, I could give it to Gerard now. It was just a matter of finding him. I ran up to my locker as quickly as I could, the box's weight carefully distributed between my fingers. I just want to point out, first off, based on the fact that it didn't give me a choice, either I made some wrong choices earlier that just led to me saying no to that, or I'm going to be going back on my deal, and I'm not a fan of either of those scenarios. Alright. I opened my locker and flung several books from the top shelf, then set the box carefully in their place. Very gently, I shut the door and dashed into class.
You.
Miss Mizuno! I winced as I stepped into the room. Miss Shizuka? Might I have an explanation for your lateness? My eyes darted to PBG, Shane, John. They gazed at me innocently, completely unaware of how I betrayed them. How in the world was I going to tell them I was quitting the tournament? Miss Mizuno! I don't. I'm sorry. Of course you don't. People never seem to these days. She snapped her fingers and pointed to my desk. Sit. Seriously, this teacher's a bitch. Can I just point this out? Like, first off, if you're late to class, and it's not, elementary school, nobody goddamn cares. That's your fault, it's your responsibility. You're late for class, alright, you missed out on some of the lesson. Also, calling out a student in front of the class and embarrassing them in the process, in many cases, that's grounds for teachers to be punished, and if done repeatedly, which this girl has definitely done, that could usually be grounds for firing. Because you're basically, you're not treating students right. That's not how you're supposed to treat students. I don't care how many boyfriends have had break up with you. I scrambled into my chair, trembling slightly. Maya leaned over my shoulder and giggled. Way to go. I sense a rant coming on. It's not my fault.
Men.
No, people these days don't know how to respect. She slammed her hands on her desk. I don't care to. Heed this. Respect a woman's time. She has very little of it. Says the one who just disrespected another woman. Over time. I really don't care about this. Now then, class, about regenerative shields. She's crazy. Don't say that. She's having a hard time. She's a bitch! Do you even know how old she is? Isn't she 25? That's what she'd like you to think. Must be hard when you feel like you're getting older. Miss Shizuka shot a glare our direction, and we silenced. There was only one thing left for me to do, and I spent the entire rest of class dreading it. No matter how I tried to spin it in my mind, this was a conversation that wouldn't have a positive end. There was no way to make it not hurt. I wanted to find a way to at least make it hurt less, but what in the world was I supposed to do? Instead, an impending sense of dread settled over me. The class's lights were too bright, the room too stuffy. Everyone seemed happy and carefree, like they were somewhere else, or they were from a different planet. I nibbled the eraser of my pencil until it disappeared, and then it was time. Hey guys, can I talk to you about something?
What's up?
Sure, what's up, Hana? There was no good way to say this. I had to rip off the band-aid. I'm not going to compete in the tournament. What? Why the hell not? We only have a week left. Why are you doing this now? Couldn't you have told us sooner? Why are you leaving? I can't say why. You can't say why. You've got to be kidding me. I'm really, really, really sorry. My god, she's serious.
No.
I don't want to hear it, Hana. I really don't. Just go. I nodded and turned away, shoulders hunched. This wasn't what I wanted. But it was worth it if I could give Gerard Princess Pumpernickel. I just had to keep thinking of Gerard. I shut the door behind me, blinking tears from my eyes. There it was. The hardest part was over. I opened up my locker and pulled out Princess Pumpernickel, staring at her plump features and increasingly sadistic smile. No, she was worth it. She was worth this. Sometimes people had to make sacrifices for the people they loved. It was just the way the world worked. This is all going to go so downhill. Right now, Gerard's dream was more important than some stupid tournament or joining some stupid club. Gerard's dream and happiness were more important to me than... Than what? Than my own? No, that was silly. Anyways, the decision was already made. There was no point to wondering this. I wanted to go straight to Gerard's room and try to give him Princess Pumpernickel, but as far as I knew, Shane would also be there. There was no way I was going to risk running into Shane, not after what I just told him. Instead, I headed straight for the dorms. I could give Gerard the figure the next day during lunch, and it would be no worse for wear. Besides, with the mood I was in, I would just drag Gerard's happiness down. Every minute I had Princess Pumpernickel out of the open was a moment of buzzing anxiety. I ran up the stairs as quickly and carefully as I could, holding the box by my fingertips so my sweaty palms wouldn't damage the sides. To my great surprise, I made it to my room without incident. In fact, there was nobody even around to make a mess of things. I pulled out my keys and opened the door in the silence of the hall.
Yay!
I made it! I made it! Thank goodness. Mai wasn't around, so I set Princess Pumpernickel on my desk and quickly took off my bag and jacket. She was probably at practice or something. With my arms free, I stood in the middle of my room and spun around. There had to be a good place to put Princess Pumpernickel. One where she wouldn't be in danger of Mai's tendency to flip her hair immediately after washing it, or of Mai's inability to eat ramen without spraying detriment everywhere. A shelf built into the wall above my desk caught my eye. Oh no, there is. Perfect! I pulled out my desk chair and very carefully removed a statue of a waving cat and a blossom-shaped incense burner from the top. Then, just as carefully, I grabbed Princess Pumpernickel and put her in the center of the shelf. There. That wasn't too eye-catching, right? Mai wouldn't notice her? I leaned back, squinting. But as I did, something caught on the edge of my left sleeve. My arm was caught in front of me, and in an effort not to lose my balance, I swung it backward, arms pinwheeling in the air. You're gonna hit it, aren't you? And then it happened. Oh boy. As I pulled my sleeve away from the shelf, the nail it was caught on came with it. The shelf tilted slightly to the side, then the left half swung towards the floor. The objects tumbled from the sky in slow motion. My arms, still attempting to catch my balance, didn't respond quick enough. I grabbed for Princess Pumpernickel, but ended up nabbing a small plastic frog in my hand. I stumbled off the chair into the broken, shattered mess that was originally some of my most priceless decorations. Can we go one route without her getting her shit broken? Princess Pumpernickel was still contained safely in her box. A jolt of hope shot through me as I lifted her up. The edges were dented, the plastic scuffed, sure, but the box was replaceable, as long as Pumpernickel herself... No. A small hairline fracture ran across her neck. I gently shook the box and her head slid off her body. Princess Pumpernickel was decapitated. I set the box gently back on the ground. Laughter bubbled up in the back of my throat, but what came out was more of a strangled sob. This one thing. I just wanted to do this one thing. I grabbed a pillow and flung it across the room, not sure whether I wanted to curl up in a ball and cry or go beat the crap out of something. Couldn't do anything right.
Hana.
Hana, are you in there? Gerard? Is that you? Are you okay? I attempted to muffle my sobs, wiping my face clear of tears, and stood to get the door. Wait, Princess Pumpernickel, what would you do if I saw I destroyed her? One of 3 copies in the world. He would never forgive me. Hang on. I dragged all of the debris from my collapsed shelf into a pile, and glanced around for a place to put it.
Hana?
What's going on? He seemed really frantic, but why? I couldn't put the stuff in the trash without leaving scraps behind, nor could I push it under my bed. Finally, I grabbed a blanket and tossed it over the pile, poking at it until it looked like maybe it was some kind of quirky decoration.
Hey, Hana.
Hana, please, I just want to talk to you. I'm worried. He was worried about me? The thought was so funny I almost started to laugh. For some reason, when I cried, I was also much more likely to laugh. I cleared my throat and peered into my mirror. My eyes were only slightly pink, my nose running just a little. He wouldn't notice, right?
Hana!
Hana! I'm coming! I grabbed the tissue and blew my nose, then finally opened the door, slightly. Just enough to see Jirard, and so he couldn't see much of me.
What's going on?
Hana, what's going on? What are you talking about? Why are you here all of a sudden? Why are you quitting the tournament all of a sudden? Shock went like a jolt through my spine. Of course, I should have guessed. Shane lived with Gerard, and he also pretty much hated me. It wouldn't take a brain surgeon to realize one of the first people he'd tell was Gerard. Well, about that, I hadn't had time to come up with a story either. My gaze dropped to the floor as I tried to come up with something, and Gerard made a face. You don't want to tell me the truth? No, it's not that. It's just that I need... I glanced inside my room, my gaze landing on Mr. Bunny. To go home?
Hana.
Is it that apparent? You're a terrible liar. Can I come in? I guess. I stepped back and let Gerard into the room, my mind still spinning for some kind of explanation. Nothing. There was nothing to explain my sudden change of heart. Biting my lip, I changed tactics. Where have you been for so long?
Huh?
What are you talking about? Why haven't you been around for lunch or class or anything? It seems like you've been upset about something.
No way!
No, I'm not upset. Of course I'm not upset. You seemed genuinely surprised that I reached this conclusion. So surprised it almost made me angry.
Really?
Really? Because you've been ignoring me as if you were upset. It's not surprising I reached that conclusion.
Hana.
It feels like the only voice clip Gerard recorded was saying Hana. Is that why you decided to leave the tournament? You thought I didn't want you on the team? That's not at all... No, of course that's not why. What kind of worrywart do you take me for? You're not a worrywart? I mean... Gerard scanned my room. Suddenly, I realized it was his first time here. I stifled the urge to smooth out my bed and hide the papers left out on my desk. Stifled? Doing something like that would only draw more attention to the fact that I had something to hide. Hana, your shelf is broken. Do you need help fixing it? He pointed to the shelf above my desk, which still hung vertically following the destruction it wrought. No, that's fine. I crossed to my desk, trying to block the view of the broken shelf with my tiny frame. Gerard's eyes traveled from the shelf, to me, to the blanketed pile next to my feet. What's that? Immediately tears pricked my eyes. Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing? But you seem really sad about it. Are you sure I can't help? Jirard was staring at me with large puppy dog eyes, all sincerity and compassion. I slid to the floor, the energy draining from me. I was just trying to help you find Princess Pumpernickel, but... I pulled the blanket off the pile, grabbing the box from on top. But I decapitated her and I ruined it. Now you're gonna be so mad at me, and I promised Wald I wouldn't be in the tournament in exchange, and now it's all ruined! All the stress of the day finally caught up with me, and I started sobbing right there on the floor. You know, somehow I had a feeling this was all just going to come out at once, and then he's just going to be like, except this thing that solves problem. I didn't want to see his face. I didn't want to see him, but... Gerard pulled me into a gentle hug. Hana, it's alright. It's okay. You don't have to feel bad. You promised to quit the tournament just to get me Princess Pumpernickel? I think that's the nicest thing anybody has ever done for me.
Really?
Is it? Of course it is. It makes me kind of happy that you go so far for me. But you definitely ever shouldn't go so far for me. I'm not worth giving up your dreams. I just wanted to repay you because you're always taking care of me and doing things for me, and I don't deserve it at all.
Whoa, what?
Whoa. Who says you don't deserve it? Why don't you deserve it? Memories from the past year trickled into my mind. I was cold, I was cruel, I was completely despondent. I was somebody I was ashamed of being. I was extraordinarily self-deprecating in a way that is in no way realistic or, frankly, just realistic. I'm not a good person. Gerard let out a hearty laugh, his shoulders shaking against me and jostling my head. You're not a good person? Would a bad person try so hard to get me this figure? Or to help her team win the tournament? Would a bad person have so many people around her who cared for her? Would a bad person let my drool all over her just so she wouldn't wake up? You're kinda silly, Hana. Maybe. I wasn't completely convinced. Compared to Gerard, I was a Scrooge.
I promise.
I wouldn't be doing so much for you if I thought you were a bad person, Hana. I wouldn't like you so much if I thought you were a bad person. Gerard? Gerard leaned over and picked up Princess Pumpernickel from the floor, examining the box and figure with a collector's critical eye. For a brief second, his eyes shot wide, then he grinned. I don't think you have to worry about the tournament either.
What?
What? Why not? This is a fake. What? And a really obvious one, too. For one, Princess Pumpernickel is a deep plum color, the color of royalty. Not this delicious-looking brown shade. Also, her crown is gold, not silver. But... Wallet. But here's the thing. You made a deal for the real bona fide Princess Pumpernickel, didn't you?
See what I mean?
You don't have to keep up your end of the deal. Wallet didn't keep his. Do you think so?
Huh.
More than just think so. I'll make sure of it. Ooh, Gerard is mad. And if we're continuing to go along... Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, if we're continuing to go along with Gerard being like me, Wallet is dead. We're gonna see him dead and visit his funeral in the next episode. So until then, I'm gonna stare here at Gerard's angry face. I've been Max. See you next time for a very cathartic Asagao Academy Normal Boots Club. Whoosh. Boom, boom.